What's good, Hoopers? Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr. Coming your way, a mailbag here on the show where I take your questions about anything pertaining to the NBA. It can be wild, it can be wacky, it can be conjecture, it can be anything. It's part of the beauty of what we do here at Chat Sports. Coach Dreadhead, appreciate you watching the show and DMing me on Instagram. We've talked a lot of good hoops of late. Dame time and Nasir Little to the 76ers for Ben Simmons, Maxey, and the number 28 pick. I'm not sure that gets it done on the Sixers side. I think the Sixers have to give up more. The trade that I had proposed was Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, and Matisse Thybulle. Thybulle, third-team all-defensive guy. Ben Simmons, first-team all-defense. Tyrese Maxey, I thought, was a steal in the 20s of last year's NBA draft. I'm just not sure that Simmons, Maxey, and pick number 28, which really doesn't have a ton of value, gets that deal done. I think you'd have to add a little bit more to the package if you're Philly. The race to 100 subscribers is on as we speak. Hey, we launched a Knicks channel. We launched a Sixers channel. Let's see who can get to 100 subscribers first. Chatsports.com/KnicksTV. We'll take you to our brand new Knicks channel. Video already up. Chatsports.com/76erstv. A video already up. Subscribe right now. Help build those channels because more subscribers equals more coverage for your squads. Randall CD, odds the 76ers land Kyle Lowry. I would love it. I think Kyle Lowry has a skill set that the Sixers certainly need. And I think he brings intangibles that the Sixers need. I think this franchise is somewhat soft. They don't have a leader. Late in games when it gets tight, especially in the playoffs, we've seen them crumble. Joel Embiid included, even though he puts up monster numbers. I think Kyle Lowry is a guy who's an absolute dog. He's a guy who's been around the block. He's won an NBA championship. He's from North Philly. He went to Villanova right outside of Philly. Has a creation element to his game that the Sixers desperately need. I understand he's 35 years old and he's going to demand a lot of money. It might have to be a sign and trade for this deal to actually happen for Lowry to sign with Philly. I would really, really like it if you give up Simmons. Kyle Lowry is one of the most marquee free agents out there on the free agency market. Where do you think he's going to sign? I don't think he goes back to the Raptors. I actually think they should draft Jalen Suggs with pick number 4 in the upcoming draft, which is less than 2 weeks away. It's a team like the Lakers, so the Clippers going to be in play for Lowry. Maybe even the Sixers as well. A lot of suitors expected to be all in on Lowry. Pop Johnson, better record next year, Mavericks or the Sixers? I'm going with the Mavericks. Yeah, producer Sam is a Mavs fan. I'm from the Philly area. I'm going with the Mavs. I think Luka Doncic gives you a more sustainable model to win games. And I think you can lean on him more so than you can Joel Embiid. And who knows what the hell is going to happen with the Sixers, right? Because are they going to have Ben Simmons? Are they going to have Tobias Harris? What's the makeup of this team? I'm going better record, Dallas Mavericks. Mailbag continues with this question from Vincent Sorletti. What it do, my dude? Who is the most injury-prone player in the NBA if Embiid stays healthy this year? Will he become a superstar for the Sixers? Embiid's already a superstar, so we don't have to worry about that. As for injury-prone players, Embiid is in that conversation. Kawhi Leonard has to be in that conversation as well after that partially torn ACL. I mean, the injuries really go back to his career with the San Antonio Spurs. Other players who get injured quite frequently. I don't know. I mean, Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard, certainly the ramifications there in terms of their injuries have such a huge impact on their respective teams. So I'd put those two guys in that topic of conversation. This is kind of unrelated, but if Markelle Fultz never hurt his shoulder and then tore his ACL, I think the dude would have been a stud. He was the consensus number 1 pick in the 2017 class for me. What the hell happened with the shoulder? We'll never know. Olympics. Not far off in the distance. USA is struggling. They've already lost a couple of exhibition games so far. Who will win gold in the Olympics? I know we have an international audience here at Chat Sports. Shout out your country if you think they're going to compete and win gold during the Olympics. Get those predictions in the comment section. Altered Sports with this question, Ben Simmons to the Bulls, is that okay? It could be okay. From the Sixers standpoint, could they get back Zach LaVine? I think the Sixers would have to add another player in that deal in order to trade for Zach LaVine and part ways with Ben Simmons. From the Bulls standpoint, I think Simmons could fit on the roster if LaVine especially is there. I just think Simmons, because he hasn't developed his offensive game at all, he's actually regressed from when he came into the league, which is a shame. That's on him for not putting the work in, because we've seen the work that Giannis has put in and how far his offensive game has come. I think Simmons has to be on a team where either he's surrounded with a lot of shooters or he can play a small ball 5 like he would on the Golden State Warriors. I hope you all love what we're doing here at Chat Sports, because I certainly love my job here at Chat Sports, and I want to continue to work here. So help us out, get us to 250,000 subscribers, because if we don't in the next couple of days, I might disappear and vanish, like some characters on Breaking Bad, which a lot of us are rewatching here at Chat Sports. So either hit that red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/chatsportstv, subscribe us, and join our live NBA mailbags where we answer all of your NBA-related questions right here on the show. Joseph Ridge, is there any way the Sixers get Dame without Thybulle? If so, tell. Maybe. Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, maybe a sign-in trade with like Danny Green, and then you throw in some future first-round picks. They don't really have a ton of other assets. If you want to part ways with Seth Curry, who's on one of the best deals in the NBA right now, because on open opportunities in the playoffs, he shot 90% from 3. Of course, he's not Steph Curry, his brother, but he's one of the more elite shooters, and he's on the books for $8 million over the next couple of seasons. So maybe. I just think that the Blazers, if they trade away Dame, that marks the beginning of their rebuilding process, and they kind of would like Thybulle in that deal to kickstart that rebuild. 30 racks, $5 super chat. You're the man. Can the Sixers get Damian Lillard without giving up Maxey in a deal? Do you think they should trade Harris with Ben? Yeah, I think Tobias Harris as a salary filler could be in that deal as well, but the Sixers would have to take a salary back. Maybe like a Nurkic, maybe like a Robert Covington. I continue to say this, but when you trade away an Anthony Davis or a James Harden or a Damian Lillard, you hit the reset button. Your rebuilding process starts as soon as they walk out of the practice facility or the arena, and you want young assets back as well as draft capital. So if you don't add Tyrese Maxey in that deal, you got to add future first-round picks, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, maybe even another piece. I think that's somewhat unrealistic. Maxey might be a guy who gets it done, and if it's Maxey and Thybulle who do get a deal done, you do it 10 times out of 10, because Dame and Embiid, that'd be lit. Last question in this mailbag coming from Justin Archer. Who will be the biggest bust in 2021? The biggest bust. I think, so Scotty Barnes out of Florida State has just been soaring up draft boards. Some people have him as a top 5 pick. I like Scotty Barnes. Think he's a good prospect. Think the athletic skill set is polarizing. He can guard multiple positions. He can run the floor really well. He's an insane athlete. But any draft prospect who can't shoot at all from the wing spot, which is what he'd probably expected to play, really concerns me. So if he's a top 5 guy, Scotty Barnes could be a bust in the 2021 NBA draft. So that is my answer to that question, the last one on this mailbag.